What if I told you that there exists a place in Pakistan, right now, today, in 2026, where people are living exactly as their ancestors lived 1,000 years ago? No electricity, no hospital, no road that deserves the name, no safety net of any kind between a human being and the raw, unforgiving fury of nature. And what if I told you that these people, these extraordinary, remarkable, quietly heroic people, are not living this way because they have been forgotten by the government, abandoned by the system, or left behind by progress? What if they are living this way because this mountain, this valley, this frozen, wind-battered, breathtakingly beautiful corner of the earth is simply and completely and irreversibly home? In the border regions of Pakistan, where the Karakoram giants scrape the underside of heaven itself, and the wind carries the cold of glaciers that have been frozen since before human civilization began. A valley lies hidden from the world. Not accidentally hidden, not forgotten, hidden on its own terms. Machulo Valley. A place where simply waking up in the morning is an act of courage. Where the road ends, not because the engineers ran out of budget, but because the mountains simply refused to allow it to continue. Where death does not wait dramatically around a single corner. It waits patiently at every single one. But here is the question that will stay with you long after this documentary ends. Long after you have put down your phone and gone back to your comfortable, heated, electrically lit life. What do the people of Machulo Valley understand about being alive? Truly, fully, completely alive. That the rest of us, with all our convenience and all our technology, have completely and utterly lost. Today, we are going to find out. Come with us. The mountain is waiting. Machulo Valley. Say the name to most Pakistanis and you will be met with a blank stare. Say it to most people on earth and you will receive nothing. Not even a blank stare. Just silence. And that silence is exactly where this story begins. If you are still watching this interesting documentary video, then please do subscribe to our channel so that it will motivate me to work hard to enhance the quality of video for viewers. If you have heard of Kaplu, that stunning jewel of Baltistan that itself feels like the edge of the known world, then understand that Machulo is beyond even that. Not slightly beyond, not a short drive beyond. This valley sits in the Hushay region of Gilgit-Baltistan, a name that already sounds like it belongs to another world entirely. It sits at approximately 10,000 to 12,000 feet above sea level, which means that right now, as you watch this from wherever you are, the people of Machulo are breathing air with roughly 30% less oxygen than the air filling your lungs. Every breath they take is harder than your hardest breath. And they take it without thinking. The road to Machulo, and we use the word road with considerable generosity begins where most people's courage ends. After leaving Kaplu and pushing toward Hoshe, the track narrows with every kilometer, like something slowly closing around you. One side, a sheer vertical wall of mountain, ice-slicked and indifferent. The other side, a drop so deep into the gorge below that the river at its bottom sounds like a whisper. Rocks fall without warning. The ground shifts under the tires. Even the most experienced local drivers grip the steering wheel a little tighter and speak a little less on this particular stretch. And at the end of that road, in a place where the road simply stops because the mountain has decided that this is far enough, sits Machulo. "40 to 50 stone households, a few hundred human beings, and a story that the world has never bothered to tell."
ये खानका मोहल्ला मचलू के बारे में थोड़ा बताएं, इसकी तारीख के हवाले से ये कब बना था, किसने तारीख
वो ये 400 साल इसका पुराना है।
Machulo Valley, when you see it for the very first time, does something to your chest that no photograph has ever successfully captured, and no words have ever fully described. In the morning, when the first light of sunrise touches the highest peaks surrounding the valley, it looks less like a natural phenomenon and more like a divine announcement. The snow does not simply catch the light, it transforms it, turning gold, then amber, then a burning white so pure and so total that you have to look away. The sky at this altitude is not the washed-out blue of the lowlands. It is a blue so saturated, so impossibly deep, that it looks painted. At night, when the last trace of light disappears from the horizon and the darkness of a valley with zero artificial illumination takes over completely, the stars do not simply appear. They arrive, in their millions, in their billions. People who have slept under these stars describe it as the most humbling experience of their lives. Water here comes directly from the glaciers above, the Shyok River carving its ancient path through the valley floor below with a sound so deep and so continuous that after a day you stop hearing it consciously and start feeling it instead. But here is what makes Machulo genuinely unlike any other beautiful place you have ever seen or imagined. This beauty is not safe. Landslides erase roads in seconds. Rocks the size of houses fall without a single second of warning. And in winter, when the snowfall seals every route in and out, a medical emergency is not a crisis you call for help about. It is a crisis where you either survive on your own or you do not survive at all. This is the other face of Machulo's beauty. So who exactly chooses to call this place home? Who are the human beings who wake up every morning inside this breathtaking, brutal, oxygen-depleted world and say, "Yes, this is where I belong"? The people of Machulo are predominantly Balti and Shina-speaking communities, descendants of some of the oldest mountain cultures in all of South Asia. They did not arrive here recently. They did not stumble upon this valley and decide to settle. Their grandfathers were born in these stone houses. This is not a place they live in. It is a place they are made of. There are approximately 40 to 50 households in the entire valley. Each home is built from the same stone and mud that surrounds it, as if the house grew organically from the mountain itself rather than being constructed upon it. Stones are placed carefully on every rooftop, not for decoration, but for survival, anchoring the structure against winds powerful enough to strip anything not nailed down. Each home contains a single room, one room for an entire family. In winter, that single room becomes everything: kitchen, bedroom, living room, shelter, and sanctuary simultaneously. The whole world compressed into 4 stone walls and a fire. These people are not broken by it. They are not diminished by it. They are not even particularly impressed by their own endurance. Because for them, this is not endurance. This is just life. Every household keeps goats, sheep, and a few cows. And these animals are not pets or livestock in any casual sense. They are the living, breathing infrastructure of survival. Their milk is breakfast. Their wool is clothing. Their body heat, when kept inside the house during winter nights, is central heating. The women of Machulo deserve their own documentary, their own monument, because what they carry, physically, emotionally, practically, is staggering by any standard of measurement the modern world possesses. To fetch water, a Machulo woman walks several kilometers to the glacier, not on a path, on rocks, loose, wet, unpredictable rocks, with a heavy clay vessel balanced on her head. Then she walks back, the same rocks, the same weight, the same distance, every single day. In every kind of weather the mountain decides to deliver. Firewood requires a separate expedition. Trees are scarce at this altitude. The ones that exist are far from the village. Women and children go together to gather whatever dry wood the mountain offers. Because without fire, there is no warmth, no cooked food, no survival. Fire in Machulo is not a luxury or an aesthetic choice. Fire is the difference between a family that makes it through the night and one that does not. And after the water is fetched and the firewood is gathered and the animals are fed and the children are dressed, the women cook on open fires with simple ingredients. For families that are hungry in a way that people with full refrigerators rarely understand. They simply do it decade after decade.
Working hard is not something women should feel ashamed of. The real shame lies in depending on others and begging for help. Through hard work, I have strengthened my family both financially and morally.
Food in Machulo is a masterclass in simplicity taken to its most essential form. Jialing, a thick, dense bread baked from whole wheat and barley flour on stone or iron, is the foundation of every meal. So filling and so calorie-dense that a single piece carries a person through hours of physical mountain labor. Molida, whole wheat soaked, ground, mixed with ghee and sugar, provides the kind of deep, slow-burning energy that bodies working at extreme altitude and extreme cold genuinely require. And then there is gur chai, salted butter tea made with salt, butter, and milk that is not simply a beverage in this valley. It is medicine. It is warmth delivered directly into the bloodstream. It is the thing that makes another hour of impossible cold survivable. In summer, apricots and mulberries are dried with the careful attention of people who understand exactly what those small pieces of fruit mean when winter closes every root and fresh food becomes a memory. Desi ghee, made right here from goat and cow milk, is treated with a reverence that the modern world reserves for luxury goods. Because here, it is a luxury good, the most important one in the valley. The children of Machulo deserve a moment of genuine stillness and reflection. Because what is expected of a child here, what a child here simply accepts as the normal shape of a life, would be unrecognizable to most children growing up anywhere else on Earth. School exists, but it is in Kaplu, 3 to 4 hours away on foot. Some children make that journey every day. When winter arrives, the journey becomes impossible and school stops. Because in Machulo, when survival and education compete for priority, survival wins. Every time, without discussion. Here is something that will stay with you. The people of Machulo have built one of the richest social cultures you will ever encounter. The Balti and Shina traditions here are not preserved in museums or described in academic papers. They are lived in every conversation, every meal, every gathering, every ceremony. The mother tongue is the only tongue. Urdu is a foreign language here, and in that linguistic stubbornness, in that refusal to let the dominant language erase the ancient one, there is a quiet, fierce act of cultural resistance that has been going on for generations. Elders in Machulo are not simply respected, they are the living library of the community. When an elder speaks, everyone listens, because what the elders carry in their memory and their experience is irreplaceable. There is only the knowledge that one generation passes to the next by firelight in a stone room while the mountain wind howls outside. When a wedding happens in Machulo, the entire village does not attend. The entire village participates. There is a difference. People cook together. Traditional drums fill the cold mountain air with something warm and ancient and deeply human. Songs rise in the mother tongue, melodies that no recording studio has ever captured and no streaming platform will ever carry. When someone dies, the community response is equally total. Everyone gathers, food is cooked and shared with every person in the valley. Prayers continue for months. Because here, and this is perhaps the most important thing Machulo can teach the rest of us, no one faces anything alone. Everything is shared. Because in a place where survival is genuinely collective, where the failure of one household weakens the entire community, the idea of keeping your pain or your plenty to yourself is not just culturally foreign, it is practically unthinkable. Let us sit with a question for a moment before this journey ends. We live in the most connected era in human history. We carry in our pockets devices that give us instant access to virtually every piece of information ever recorded by our species. We can speak in real time with people on the other side of the planet. We can order food, entertainment, transportation, companionship, all without standing up from where we are sitting. And this is the question that Machulo forces you to ask. Are we actually living better lives than the people in those 40 stone houses at 12,000 feet? Think carefully before you answer. Because the people of Machulo have something that our connectivity have systematically and ruthlessly eliminated. They have depth. Every relationship in that valley goes all the way down to the bone. Every shared meal means something. Every story told by an elder to a child carries the weight of something real, something earned through actual living in an actual world that does not offer any shortcuts. Machulo Valley did not ask us to come here. It did not invite us to observe it and feel moved and go home unchanged. But now that we have come, now that we have seen, the question of what we do with what we have witnessed belongs entirely to us. Will we learn from people who have nothing and yet lack nothing that truly matters? Will we stop performing gratitude and start actually feeling it? Will we look at our own lives, our heated homes, our stocked refrigerators, our functioning hospitals, our children who go to school without a 4-hour mountain walk, and feel something real? Machulo is watching, and it has all the patience in the world. If this documentary moved something real inside you, do not let that feeling disappear into the scroll. Share this video with someone who needs to be reminded of what truly matters. Subscribe so these untold human stories keep reaching you. And drop a comment below. What did the people of Machulo Valley teach you today? We read every single one. Because stories like this one survive only when people care enough to pass them on.